My hip's gonna tell me, Adam, would you warm us up today? He's really
Okay.
excited about it.
For one, side to side. Oh.
The circus level.
Up and back. West. Right side. Around the world. Arms out. Touch your opposite toe. Feet behind, touch your opposite heel. Hard up. Elbow to knee. Outside knee rotations. Alternating inside crescent. Side crescent. Shoulder rotations, hurry forward. Hurry out on your toes. Hurry back. Hurry out on your toes. Uncross. Pull your elbow back. Arm over. Reach behind. Link your fingers. Reach across to the left.
To the right.
Reach behind. Reach around, lick your fingers. Start up, right knee out, hold. Bend your leg, hold. And keeps. And switch. Left knee up. Left leg out. And keeps. Good. Right side knee. Knee to the ribs. Right leg out. And side kick. And roundhouse. And switch. Left side knee. Left leg out. Left side kick. Left roundhouse kick. On the floor. One. Reach forward. Reach back. Reach forward. Reach back.
Nice.
Number two. Reach forward. Elbow to the ground. Three. Legs apart. Reach the opposite foot. Opposite foot. Left arm to right foot. Right arm to left foot. Reach across the body. Next, both hands on the ground. Roll your torso. We'll leg out. Right leg across. Left arm forward, look to the front. Switch. Switch. Right leg on top of the left ankle and sit. Switch. You feel it right in the hip abductor.
Yeah, that's good. That was my bad hip. Really good.
Butterfly position. Elbows down. Head towards your feet. Hit 3 chords, not 2, because none of us are actually that flexible.
Appreciate your consideration.
Next, grab your feet. Balance on your tailbone. Legs out. The weird form in the sun. Feet together. One foot below. Foot. Lay down on your side. Leg up. Leg forward. Fold your leg. Goes behind you. Leg down. Reach out behind you. Reach to the back. Good. Lift leg up. Lift leg down. Good front. Leg behind. Leg down. Reach to the back. Plank to the this is kind of table. It's kind of a cold table. What you're gonna do? Kick to the knee, kick to the groin, kick to the head. So knee, groin, head. From the ground fighting, basically.
Right in the hobbit.
Fifth. On your side. Knee, groin, torso. So knee, groin, torso. Knee, groin, torso. Switch in, you ready? And up. Let's call it there.
Good one. Yeah, that one really stretched out that hip and it felt good. All right. So, oh, wait, so we're gonna do with the kicks. Yeah, go to the well if you choose to go to the well. All right. So tonight we're gonna do kicky part. So first we'll go with 2 punch block. In this case, it started in a Migashi Shiro, and it'll be you're gonna kind of C-step in. So you'll sweep in, punch, block. Sweep in, so it's gonna be nice big steps. So it's almost like you're taking the C step, but instead of staying in one place and doing it, you'll be opening up that sort of step. You can come into sort of a wide hip, chicken or whatever, punch, block. Coming in that one, you should be covering a lot of distance. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Forward and back. Come on. It's neat. Salt. Do it. Oh, I hit you. Pitch. Very well. Great. You. You. Maybe on that, whichever one you gotta turn around, then you just do a 180. Let's try this again. Right, it's neat. Salt. Oh. I turn around. Huge. There you go. Yeah, and this one it's square, so I run into this wall, I run into the end of the mat over here. So wherever I got in, I just, I can sweep on the foot that's out, so in that case, if I turn, I just swept in and then body changed around. Alright. Okay, come next. What am I getting? So on this one, we'll do them all from a punch kick.
Right.
This one, we'll do punch, we'll do one kick, two kicks, sorry. Punch, 1, 2. Punch, 1, 2. Okay.
This is punch kick under, correct?
Yeah.
Not my geri?
No, not getting, sorry, I just punched you under, because like, I gotta punch it in there. It just made it functionally, it makes it, I like it better. So just 2 kicks, essentially. Fine. It's. Me. So. G. Oh.
Hey.
Keep that back up. Rope. Stitch. Catch. Cube. Huge. So yeah, remember on those when you're picking the bad boys up, it's not you're picking it 1, 2, it's a hard one, the same one, same kick. Kind of get like back in the day, I used to watch Hanshi, and he'd kick, and he'd do a front kick, and he'd be like, it'd be like a machine gun going on. It's crazy.
Huh.
Let's see, then what we got that? We got Shigach. Sorry, Shotagari. Oh, anything sexy in this one? On this one, let's just do Shotagari 1 to the side, so 1 directly to the side, back up, and 1 to the 45. And 1.
Right.
So it's gonna be side 45. Put your hands on your hips, go on. 5, hips. Knee. So. Chi. No. Right. Stitch. Touch. You. You.
Hey.
Yeah. Yokogari, same kind of Yokogari, go 1 to 90, 1 to the 45. But check back. 90, come back, 45 back.
Hey.
Alternating, yeah, come on. Hitch. Neat. So. Chi. Oh. Rip. Stitch. Touch. You. You. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody will forget it. I think I was going for Tempo Yokogari. I started thinking about these today, but then I actually was doing the stuff recordings.
Why not my geri Zempo Yokogari? Stop kick and another stop kick. Or vice versa. Zempo Yokogari to stop and then a follow-up front kick.
Like it. Yeah, I like that. Go ahead. And a little Dai senpai shall lead. Alright, so same leg,
Little.
come up. You'll always be big in my eyes. So stop kick. Same leg, just rechamber and fire my geri.
Harrison said,
Sounds good. Why not? All the rules are out the door. Left leg first. Come on. Hits. Knee. Oops. So. Cheek. There. Ditch. Touch. Two. Sorry. Two. Woo. That was. I don't know what you guys, this foam flooring, it's firm, but when you start shifting on the ball of your foot, it starts sinking in weird places. Alright, Mashigeri, on this we'll do the normal. Do a low line, reach at middle. So one shot to the outer thigh. One shot to the floater.
Alright.
Same leg.
hey,
Migi Ashishiro.
hey,
Come on. Hitch. Knee. So. Knee. Two. Attack. Right. Ditch. Touch. You. You. Yikes. Arm weak. But you don't say it's strong. Alright. Shigeri. On this one, he actually Shiro, you're gonna come back, do my geri, do Shiro geri, then back.
Okay.
So, but you're not going to do one and the other. You're gonna chamber back, get back. A good decent Nichikan kick should be. But from the Shishiro, it's my or each knee. So cheek. Go. You getting all cranny? That's it.
no, that's what Adam was doing.
Oh, all right.
So I was just integrating it.
Oh. Knee. So. Cheek. Go. But you could get cranny. Could. Julian's just thinking.
I'll save it for the next couple.
Okay, what do we got after that? We got.
The other side.
Did you not switch? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't switch. Did we do
All right, well
10?
then. Yep.
Okay.
Did
well,
5 on one. Well, I did 5 on one side, 5 on the other, which was 10 on one side.
I did
10
not
on the other,
switch.
but that's okay. Well then, my time. Hits. Knee. So. Sheep. Go. There you go. Now we may proceed.
I was too
Alright,
busy flailing around with my hands and working that out to be bothered with switching feet.
That's okay. I see what I was going for there. That's oh, we'll talk about it in a second. All right, now second front kick.
So this is where crane comes into play because it's actually one of the moves in Matsumura Hakutsuru show.
All right, that's right. So
Except it's front kicks, so front kick, side kick, but front kick to the front, side kick. Yep. So it's
So that-
block, your block pulling down into kick, kick.
that's right. So that's what we're gonna do. So start from natural stance. Those of you
Hey.
see it natural stance, and then it's gonna come in. You're gonna body change into the crane.
Right?
Bring him in, front kick, side kick. And this one, instead of doing maybe a proper side kick, maybe do a 45. If you're thinking about the villain or ruffians coming in and grabbing you here or whatever, or they got a hold of you, you open them up and boom, kick one, kick the other. You can make it a thrust kick if you want, or you can just keep it as a snap kick. Either way. So we'll and we'll alternate. Alright. Probably come together in a nice little super dash.
Are you stepping forward or are you stepping back?
In this case, I'm stepping forward.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, but you're then kicking off. Okay, so you're stepping out and forward, gotcha. But
Yeah,
you're kicking
so-
off back. Then.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I'm thinking about breaking them over. So. Oh, butt exercise, it's okay. If you need to turn and move a direction, it's okay. It's just for the body change is really kind of what I. Relative to whatever your world is. All right. Back up,
Hey.
a little more world. Not. It's me. No. Oops. Cheat. Oh. And I'm going backwards. Up. Cinch. Two. All right, now side kick, front kick. Did you guys do front kick, side kick, or side kick, front kick?
I did front kick, side kick, unfortunately,
Okay, yeah.
because that's what was in my brain. Even though that's
That's a,
the right order.
right. So remember, once in one rule of the dojo.
Whoever's leading is correct.
No.
Doesn't
Do something
matter
even if it's
do something even if it's wrong.
do something, even if it's wrong. That's what felt natural, so that's what you're gonna do. That's fine. So so now we'll do side kick, front kick. Yeah, I'll do the same thing, just side kick, front kick. Oh, you want to do, see, but there's no.
There is if you
I'll do the
rotate.
same.
or but
Alright, you go,
it's okay. What were you gonna? What was your original plan?
oh, just do the crane bit in, but actually, now
Right.
that I think about it. Yeah, it's, I don't know why you move, why you rotate on that. Hey, we could get like a Tinko. Come up. Side kick, front kick. Actually, yeah, we'll just keep it like a frame. So on this one, it'll be the same thing, side kick, front kick. Just because we'll keep the cranius going.
This could be to the inside though. It would work pretty well to the inside.
Yeah, totally. It's good. That's a good thought exercise. All right. So on this one, front kick, front kick. Step as you need to step. Come on. Hitch.
Ah,
In. Off. In. Oh. Yeah, this one actually feels a little better going backwards. Right. Hitch. Touch. You. You. I don't know about you guys, but after I do about 3 of those, then I start seeing, you know, where I'm kicking. So with that, I actually think more about a sort of a, I'm closing in a little bit. And yeah, inside. I come in, boom, stop kick, and then nail them. So I put a little more emphasis on that second kick, really more than I do the first kick. Something to think about.
you really want to get craney, you can do so trap it and then come back over top. Boom. Reach hand. Or you can instead of you can block and then double reach hand the side of the neck or whatever. And then kick. All sorts of fun stuff you can do.
And all sorts of fun stuff. It dynamics better when you get the human there. Oh, that's fine.
Yep. Which is also craney.
Exactly. And for me on that one, that felt like much more of a step back technique than a step in technique. And so opening that distance a little bit, pop one, pop the other. Good times, good times.
And honestly, as much as you hate it, to me, this is the picture perfect example of when to use Nekoashi, because you're just dropping back marginally enough just to take you out of prime striking distance. You're, blocking and controlling the arms, and then, kicking the front leg and then the body, or the body, the front leg, or the front leg and then the side leg, depending on which order you do your kicks in. So for me, this is when Nekoashi is useful, is when I want to get just a little bit more distance, maybe a fist width more distance to take a little bit of zip out in case I miss, but then I'm ready for craney kinds of things. And I'm off that lead, so I've done my change body, or in this case, based on what I learned this last weekend, my Tai Sabaki, right? I've taken myself back just a little bit. I'm still straight on, but then I have control because I've grabbed, I know where those arms are. And I can do stuff if I need to. So anyway, that's just my personal.
Yes. So to be clear, I think I made this, I think I said this before, but to be clear, for those of you watching at home, I don't dislike Neko Ashidashi. I dislike what has become of it. Whereas people think, I don't think it's a stance, I think it became a stance. I think it was a technique that became a stance. And everyone got so caught up in like doing this perfect, you know, my weight is that they forgot what this is for. I think this is, again, I wasn't present in the meetings, but yes, I think that, you know, pulling somebody in, getting some weight, maybe I think that was on the way to the crane, and so much got, I don't know, focused on that became a stance, and everyone thought this was some lofty secret thing that they really need to spend a lot of time on. When they really need to think about that, yeah, you're shifting weight, you're pulling weight, you're getting range, you're doing. It was a means to an end. It's not a place to be. You know, same thing with the high side. You know, here, that's not a stance. That's not a place you're operating from. Right. This is not a thing you're operating from. This is a place to get you send somebody. I dislike the application of it. Or the transformation of it from being a stance, from being a I don't know.
I'm gonna come with an even hotter take. That is every stance.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
As I said, karate has many stances. It also has none.
Yeah.
I think that was Chibana or Mokumu. Somebody said that,
and
it's true.
And we're also. Oh, I'm sorry, Sensei. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, a stance is never meant to be anything more than somewhere on the wings. You know, even like, you know, when you're punching and you're in the stance and you're striking, then you're not done. You know, you're off onto something else. So it's just it's a way station to apply a technique. What are you going to say, Drew?
I was just gonna say, I mean, you know, one of our tenets is always being on the balls of your feet. So Nekoashi is just, it's where we should be anyway. It's just one foot is lower than the other, but like you said, it's a transitional point from being on the balls of my feet in order to move to I'm on the ball of my feet, but I've shifted my weight slightly back over my back leg so that it's ready for a kick. It's a transition, like you said. Like anybody that stands there like this, I mean, that's the definition of telegraph. Gee, wonder what they're gonna do. Like you wouldn't want to stay there, but you want to, right? Exactly. So you want to. I totally agree with the transition, and it's useful in Tai Sabak, but not as its final position, but just boom, pow. You know, it's a transition point to launch a kick.
Yeah. So like Seisan or Ananku, you know, when you do this number, you know, some systems will make that into an English Dutch. They go, yeah, they get that in, you know, and some pajama people, you know, really get that, they get that stomp of like they either stomp here or they stomp there. So and they think that stomp is like some integral part of the kata. I think it was just some sensei somewhere was like, you know, you're kind of pulling you're pulling your weight back on somebody, or you know, you get them and you're coming in and hit them or whatever. And you do that, they emphasize that stomp, boom. And that became part of the kata, part of the theatricality of the kata. And people forgot that there's actual something that's supposed to be there. You know, and if they do that, they pause because they want to have like a cool stance. But that's not what the cool stance is not the functional part of the kata. The cool stance is someone grabs you or whatever, or you're blocking and you're you'd open them up a little bit, so you can either throw that kick in there or pull them off, wait that leg and stomp. And then do that next
Right.
day, so. Anyway, that's part of the, like when we talk about the application of something, they're like, is that just content or is that an actual application? It's like,
So-
is that part of the prettiness of the content? Go ahead.
So we've talked about this in hakutsuru, because there's two kata, one of that have the same move and same sequence, and one of them is in neko, where your heel is not touching and it comes up here. There's another kata where you come up, and then as you come down, you drop your heel and place your heel down, and it's not a boom, but what it is signifying is I'm dropping my tendon slightly and I'm connecting with the ground to give me that stability, right? To put a little more weight, more lead hands, more oomph into this, but it's not a power move, it's not a stomp, it's essentially a small biomechanical thing that, just like Tuity, a small change in that perspective settles you and links you and gives you, it unifies your system, so you're not, off somewhere, and it's your tanden is like, I'm pushing all that energy down without, I'm not muscling it, I'm pushing the energy down along with my hands. And so, that's been a really interesting concept to go with this. Again, why it's just like, I don't want to stand here for too long because I'm disconnected and my energy is back. It's, it's not the right spot, but I want to just, but even for ananku, right? You do that punch, you're in a tall stance, you step back, that's a transition point, and you're bringing, all you're doing, like they've grabbed your hand maybe, and all you're doing is boom, settling. It's not, you're not stomping on them, you're settling so that you are putting them into position for your next move, which is to move forward and strike, or to move forward and move forward again, right? Or trap, or maybe they've grabbed your hand and you decide you're going to do a big pull, right? So they grab your hand, you do a big sweep, you come up underneath maybe, and you want to drop it, but it's not, it's an energy drop, not a body drop, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, and that's a key sort of technique. Actually, let's play with that for a minute. So, some schools of our friends, Korean friends in Taekwondo, I've seen them do it a lot, where you'll see them do their kata and they'll bow in and they do this bouncy thing. And I just like, the first time I saw it, I was like, what are they doing? But then as I kind of like tried to like make the connections, I was like, oh, they're trying to drop their weight, but they don't know. My contention is they don't know. Whoever learned this back in the day, someone was trying to teach them that. You're shaking your weight, coming in, doing your thing, and you get a good foundation. Here, and you come in here and you're dropping that weight in there. And that, again, someone overemphasized something and it became a thing. And hakutsuru is kind of making that circle smaller again. So let's look at that for a minute. Get a center line, right? And just take that step, turn and get that tendon in there. Get both your hands moving like you're doing a shuto block or whatever. And then, but come down with your heels of your palm. Come in and feel where that feels like you're applying the power. You're probably already used to doing this. You're actually, both of you are probably used to doing it, but I'm just thinking about it now. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking a step back, step forward, doesn't matter. But get up on the balls of your feet and then come down and feel where your power hits.
Incidentally, we talked about this on Saturday at black belt class for the brown belt technique, the double hit,
Oh, no. Yeah,
which is exactly what we're doing. So it's not just
Well,
hakutsuru.
there we go.
It's-
That is hakutsuru, because
It is,
hakutsuru
but
is all
it's-
solar system.
Right?
It's just not labeled. There's an asterisk.
Right?
Blah, blah, blah. It's, asterisk. It's actually hakutsuru. So anyway, so, come in and you can step, like I said, you can step out. You can step in, whichever way, but just feel that tone and stay on the balls of your feet and then come down. Right?
Right.
Which I'll count each step. Come on, hits. 8. And drive that power through the bony part of your palm. For me, I'm keeping it right on my center line as I come down. Don't. Cheap. No. Rope. Teach. Hatch. Two. Two.
Yeah.
Alright. So Adam, where did you feel your best? Oh,
If you're talking, we can't hear you. Adam.
I think he's thinking. So like for me, well, to give you an example, so like when I came in, if I kind of let my hands lead just a little bit, and I didn't. For me, it would be like I've made the contact with them, and now I'm sick at my weight. Whereas if I try to sink my weight and then let that, it felt a little behind, like I wasn't above, but I could see where I'm dropping into it. Also with me, if I felt like I was pushing down off to the diagonal, it didn't feel as strong if I'm doing it this way as opposed to doing it that way. And I need to get that little in there. If I just drop like that and nothing's going on, I gotta give it a focus, which was these guys. That's when I was doing that. So where did you feel it, Drew?
I tend to feel it at that point of contact because I'm trying to not power through, but I'm trying to like push all my weight, my energy into my hands at that point. So for me, it definitely straight on. I agree with you there. That's where I felt it. When I would, pivot, up, it's like, okay, I've found or I've redirected, but now it's, it's at that point of contact because I also know that my next maneuver from those ippons is going to be this, right? So, but it's that, and for me, it's not trying to, not trying to blast through, it's trying to put the weight so that it stops the arm, right? Because I know that just putting that weight on there will hurt them. If I hit the right points on their arm, there's pressure points there. So if I hit those points with my weighty hands, as weighty as I can make them with my energy, that will get the point across to them quite clearly. And so also, I feel like at that point of contact.
And there's a difference between like doing it this and engaging that. And making sure I'm giving it a point of going on. So so let's get that going because so that's just like with Yakuza, right? When I get you cats to go, cock that hip a little bit and then move. Same thing here is it can't just be this, it's not just up and down, see, nothing's going on there, you gotta get a little, engage the hip a little bit, and luckily we have these patented Matsuura hippometers to make sure that you're doing something that way. You get those guys moving. So on these, same thing again. Take that step out, step back, step whichever way you want to go. Let that power come in, let that and hit with those muscles and try and bring that hip up. Same time.
Hi, Sensei. That to me is also that dropping of the heel.
Mhm.
When you set is just a reminder. It's like a physical reminder to like center your tanden low.
Yeah.
It's not a technique in and of itself, which I think is kind of interesting. That's been helpful to actually think about, when I turn, have that foot up a little bit, and then as I come down, just set the heel down and remind my body to be like, hey, your tanden needs to be a little lower. So move those, because it'll minutely maneuver my hips like you were talking about, slightly lower when I set just by setting it down flat.
And let's add that extra kicker of come in, block, and then go ahead and engage both of those. Get a nice mikite on that. So we're gonna step in, block, and then mikite. So that way you'll set you'll set your hip, and then you'll let it go forward a little bit. Come on.
Hey.
It's 8. Oh. Deep. Oh. That's it. Sitch. Hatch. You. Ooh, yeah, thanks. There's different for me. If I try and make it a bigger move, I feel like I lose. Like if I try and do like that, something gets lost in the translation. But if I keep it small, and I keep 1, 1, 2. It's like I'm kind of talking this guy here, and that's dropping the weight, and then this guy's here, it's holding here, and this is. So it's kind of like I set it up and come up. Kind of like that.
So one of the things we talked about at the black belt class was you have 2 targets for that technique, right? You've got the pressure point here, and you've got the pressure point here-ish. I think it's right here somewhere. I don't know, I have to look it up, but right here. Or your target is the elbow with an effort to bend the elbow to get it out of the way, right? For that jab. So where you do that flick, which is the Kenshin-kan secret sauce, that little tiny rotation, which is why our blocks are penetrative, et cetera, right? Depending on where you place that lead hand, if their punch is here, or if they've reached out to grab and you hit here, their arm bends, which means you got a much clearer shot. But either of those pressure points is meant to weaken this area up here so that this shot to that, spot right here hurts twice as much. So, that flick can be, you can either do it, he was talking about, you can either do it down or you can do it at an angle, right? So some of the stuff we do comes in at an angle. Some of it comes out at an angle. So that can change some of the dynamics as well as to where you
Yeah,
place
no.
it, so.
The best guy I've ever encountered that ever did this was he was a student of one of our guys in Portsmouth who's left the Federation, Damon McDonald. He had that freaking down. So whenever we would line up and I throw that punch out, it was hell. But he just, and so what he was doing, and after many bruises all up and down my arms, what again, also one of the secret sauces is because it's a whole relative motion thing. It's a timing deal, it's a body change deal, and it's a hitting the right places deal. And I don't know if it was just because of my body type really worked well on his, but everybody I talked to that he did that on hated him for it. Because if someone punches you like that, as they often will in the cul-de-sac, if you do it too soon, it doesn't, if you do it too late, it's hitting. I don't think he was meaning to do this. I think he just realized it worked better for him. Was when it's coming in, he's not, you're not, because you're doing a black belt, brown belt, right? So you're not coming out in a way, you're keeping everything there, and you're doing it there, right? So you're not moving, all that weight is just shifting to, right there. So it's
Change body versus Taisabaki.
yeah, exactly. So he's just coming off at a 45, and I'm joyfully ramming my arm into his hands. Because he's just standing there going, and it's almost that's a less is more technique, which may be sort of a hakutsuru special. Is when he's coming in, he's not hitting down here and hitting down here. He's not hitting down here and hitting down here. He's just putting his hands there, and I'm running into it. Because that to me is a sort of patented hit like the coffee table. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. They're doing all the work. I'm just going, here you go. And I'm putting my hands right there, my hand right there, and then it's going in there. Because we know what we're hitting, but we're just kind of putting our hands there and hoping for the best. Now, that's the
You
big
remember
circle.
that night that Lockhart Sensei came and visited our dojo? I sure as hell do. I was his target dummy for half of it. Right? He talked about this, and the thing is, the pressure points stack. So if you hit one, that's painful. If you hit two in succession, that's more painful, and it causes more weakness and disruption further up the chain. So you can disrupt their arm, by hitting one. But if you hit both of them, which is why we try to strike at roughly the same time, because if you can hit both of them, and I remember him demonstrating this, and it sucked a lot. It really can disrupt. So, but it won't disrupt for long, which is why strike, and then that second strike needs to come real close after it, right?
Yeah.
You're doing the disruption to make their arm involuntarily relax and weaken, so you can finish that thing off in there. But I remember him talking about how those pressure points stack, and so if you can just if we learn to get our hands in the right spot and hit the right spot, it won't matter, how long, let them come and punch right into it, boom,
Right.
like you're only hurting yourself.
Right, and so that's the whole, especially with sparring and stuff like that, is jumping around a whole lot and doing that whole thing is let them come to me, so that way when they move at 10 miles an hour and I add that extra 5 miles an hour, now it's 15 miles an hour with me only having to do half as much work. That's true. All right, so let's take ananku, and since ananku's very very cranny, and see 10 minutes. And see where we end up with ananku. And think about, let's just walk through it and try and figure out, then we'll we'll go back to it and see where, any roof. See where we end up with, see if we can apply any of those. And, all right. Sounds good, all right. Just kidding, hey. Got the ananku,
Hey,
right? I know. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. There are a couple places that, that was sort of a direct parallel, I mean, you know, right there. I mean, if you're thinking about just as a shoot joke, but if you're thinking about as a grab or whatever, trying to pull somebody down. Trying to pull somebody down there. Yeah, you know, boom, boom. Boom there, or rather there. Right, go back in here. Yeah, if you're thinking about this as, you know, 2 uppercuts or a couple of kidney shots or a liver shot or whatever, but you kind of dig in there when you're doing that, and then also get from there. Right. So let's go through that a little bit faster, and really focus on thinking about pulling those hips up in there.
just a quick question before we go. I'm interested to hear,
Sure.
what do you consider that shot to be? Either Sensei or Adam. Like when you're imagining it as you're doing your kata, are you imagining it as a liver shot? Or are you imagining it as a kidney shot?
Adam's getting his lovely dance partner up.
I'm just curious. Ah, okay,
So he's thinking about pulling it
Okay.
down. Nice.
nice, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
So Tim calls it a kidney shot, but your kidneys aren't on the sides, and it is definitely coming on the sides. So either it needs to be modified to be around the back, or we need to stop calling it a kidney shot.
Right, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's not really. I think the kidney shot was a way of saying the kidney level-ish. I've heard it's you're going to both floaters. I've heard one is like your one hand is actually forward. That's when you do that number. That it kind of broke up. The stance is like maybe you're moving one, and you're giving a shot with the other.
Right.
So you kind of pushing this guy this side to open up
Right.
the other.
By the same token, if you've changed body and you've just done this with a high blocking punch, right? Then it is a
There
kidney
you go.
shot. One,
There you go. So that was the
with
next
one
one.
hand.
I was gonna say was that yeah, it's you're here, you've opened them up, you move that arm out of the way, and you kind of come to the side of them, and then you're doing one to the liver and one to the kidney.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but I like that one, Adam. That's nice. You know. So
Yeah.
you're, what was that?
Here.
Here. So. Anyway, so
Interesting.
yeah, so think about that. Think about that. So I want you to know, really think about getting your that body, getting the body placement in, dropping the weight and getting your time limit coming in. All right. Let's get it. Kata ananku.
Hey.
Good. Hadi. All right. Now, man. Okay. Drew, you hung up there. All right, so Drew, you're really coming with bringing the hakutsuru in there.
Well, I was thinking you're done, right? So, well, theoretically, boom, you've kicked. Now, maybe there's still one to fire. It's just like lead hands as opposed to ready, but I've got weight. I've still got hold of them. Like, hey, we're done. No, really, we're done. You know. So it's more instead of this, because I'm not really sure what was the count. Even that, it would just be another lead. But I thought for this, as it brings into the end, you know, kind of like Pasai, but here it's, you know, just saying like, hey, we are done, and then we are done.
That's
Like I really like that maneuver, the kind of up and settle,
yeah.
up and settle. So
Way back in the 20th century, way back in the 90s, I used to, when I did Tai Chi, that was one of the things I realized was that opening move of is you know, you open the door, up, settle. And that's, you know, when you're feeling that, that's where I first kind of really gotten sort of in touch with, you know, my core and, you know, whatever I'm doing and coming up. Really sort of got a little more in my mind with where I'm up to on. My challenge for 5 o'clock in the morning under the waterfall until we meet again is when you're doing your kata, really try and crane everything up, you know, as much as possible. I mean, so even, you know, we've got each, you know, keep that, you know, keep in there and get that. Really try and think about your core, your hips, and keeping those guys lined up, and keep everything lined up relative to your center line. You know, when you're doing your blocks, you're doing your nice hands, when you're doing all that. We talk about the stuff on the center line all the time, but really, A, keeping them functional on your center line, and B, think about when your hands are moving. You know, are your hands moving, you know, sort of off your center line, or are they moving across your center line, right? That way your center line is only being covered in this case, right? You're here, you know, you're not doing it here, you're protecting your center line. If it is out here, it's to your center line and then down, you know. Anyway, think about that as you do your thing. Next week, I think we'll work on, I uncovered Pacho's old stepping techniques with the different blocks, right? I think we'll do those next week. Just
thanks.
A, to honor his legacy once again, and also B, just to have something different to do. Because I was messing with him again today, and I really kind of liked some of the ones that we did, including our homage to those. Okay, all right, good deal. Hey, that was fun. Good points, everybody. Good points. Really good workout. Really good warm up there, Adam. Those were I might hit really tomorrow. I'll probably like but I needed it because when I did that one and I stretched it out, I was like, oh, that felt really good. So, of course, it could just be the Tylenol kicking in. I'm not quite sure. All right, questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, sensei.
Sure, take yourself.
はい。気をつけ。後ろ回って右、ギター帯を直す。正面。先生に礼。どうぞお願いします。どうもありがとうございます。先生に礼。さよなら、先生。
Sayonara. Fellas.
先輩礼。どうもありがとうございます。先輩。
はい、気をつけてね。ありがとうございます。